afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to the Bronx Queens Bros podcast, better known as the BQB podcast. I'm Big B, and yes, I know I'm wearing a Yankee hat, but that's because I lost to Jack B on the last week's games, and it's just disappointing. I gotta represent the freaking Bronx Bombers. I'm a diehard Mets fan. This hurts my soul. But Dave, we got Big D, and Jack, we got Jack B. How you guys doing?
Well, we're on the flip side of the Subway Series. I'm glad that the teams split the series so that not one of you is happier than the other, but we'll definitely dive into that, and I got something special planned. So I'm ready. Episode 28, let's do it. Jack, how we doing?
Dave, doing great. A little bit mad at you, Dave, because I did say I predicted a split in the series, and then you convinced me, just take the Yankees sweep, and I agreed because I'm a sucker for the Yanks, and it was a split, so I turned out to be right, but I am pumped up for this episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to recap the two games. They were exciting, even though they're a bit of a, lack of an X factors in the game, not really a lot of juice going in. Turned out to be two great games, guys, and I can't wait to talk about them. Can't wait to get to your game, Dave. But first, V, a message from our sponsor. Take it away.
This episode is sponsored by one of the best kept secrets in northern New Jersey, Engineering and Design Concepts. Small company doing big things. They specialize in product development, manufacturing, and test equipment. If you or anyone you know need assistance in that field, they are the company you need to contact. The link to their website will be in the description below. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Subway Series, a 2-game series. Well, we got into all that garbage about MLB not knowing how to schedule a series against the Mets and Yankees. But both games turned out to be determined by a run. Game 1, Tuesday night, prime time, Tuesday night, ended up with a final score of 7-6 Yankees. And now, Jack, me and you could right away start here. The starting pitching on both ends were not it. I mean, I'm going to jump to Scherzer first, and you could go to Sev. Scherzer gets a 5-1 lead. A 5-1 lead. What does he proceed to do with it? Throw the pitch that he has never had consistency throwing all season, which was the slider. He kept throwing the slider. He allowed the home run to DJ on the slider. The Stanton home run was, I believe, off the slider as well, but that was prior. But you allow hits to, listen, and they're all major leaguers. He allowed his side KF to Higashioka. You can't let those guys get on for the next guy, Bowers. I mean, they weren't all bullets. I get that too, but, he's got to get these guys out. He's getting paid a lot of money. He had a 4-run lead. He had to do the bare minimum, which was go 6 innings into a quality start. Couldn't even get out of the 4th, and had a rough game. And it was tough to watch.
Yeah, V, one more person you forgot to mention is Anthony Volpe, who basically used Max Scherzer as his get-right game, right?
Yep.
Crazy to think about. But he also got a hanging slider on 0-2. He got first pitch curveball kind of hung to Volpe, he fouled it off. Second pitch fastball, fouled it off as well. Seemed like he was in cruise control. Volpe's been striking out a lot. Gives him a slider, and he pokes it down the line, gets a nice double, and that was huge for us and huge for him.
Oh, yeah.
But going back to starting pitching, man, Sevy just does not seem to be the same guy. Kind of unfortunate, especially in a contract year. I thought he would be having a much better year this year, but it's not the case. His fastball velocity's down. He cannot throw anything off speed for a strike. Changeup did look good at times, but I don't know. I do give him credit, though. He did fight, right? He did fight a little bit in this game. It was 5-1. Boone let him ride, tried to get that last out, and then the Mets ended up tying the game, so he ends up giving up 5 earned and 4 2/3 to Scherzer's 6 earned and 3 1/3. So, yeah, pretty much terrible starting pitching all around. But, I got to give credit to the Yankees bullpen. They really stepped up.
Big time. Even the Mets bullpen. Once the bullpens came in, the game just stops. Everyone stopped scoring, which was tough. I'm going to jump first before I get to that 8th inning of the Mets. The play that Nimmo dropped the ball, that's tough. I mean, he's so good. And I don't know if you guys realize this. That ball off the bat of Volpe had a 35% percentage catch probability. And Nimmo somehow made it there with so much time, and
Yeah, he got a great
he had
jump.
a great jump, great route, couldn't squeeze it. Ended up costing us another run, and that was the winning run. And you could see the whole time he's just shaking his head like what am I doing? And it's tough. He ends up redeeming himself in game 2, which we'll get to soon. But I mean, that's tough to see. It's like the Mets right now are finding new ways to lose every day. So that's tough to watch. But Mets, yeah. Sorry, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to get on that point, V, about Nimmo, and he's usually outstanding. He's been great all year, offensively and defensively. But it's almost like perfectly personifies the Mets, that play. It's like when they're not hitting, they're not pitching. When they're pitching well, they're not hitting. When they pitch and hit well, the defense is letting them down, or they're making base running mistakes. I feel like that kind of personifies this Mets team this year, where it's like they cannot put all the pieces together. For a Buck Showalter coach, teams are usually very good with the details, and they're very good on the little things. It seems like the Mets are lacking that this year. And yeah, it's kind of surprising to see as an outside observer.
It's tough to watch sometimes right now. I'm going in every game wondering how they're losing or how they're gonna lose it right now. I'm getting very worried watching this team, and I don't know. Especially when you get to top of the eighth, bottom of the eighth inning, you somehow get bases loaded, 1 out with. Should be two of your top hitters in that lineup with Lindor and Marte up. Lindor has been struggling all year. I get it. And but before that at bat, he was batting .270 with runners in scoring position. He is a much better hitter with runners in scoring position. But that spot, you're like, just get a sac fly. Hit the ball on the ground slowly and run it out.
Yeah.
He's hard to double up. Anything but pop out and strike out. He strikes out on a sinker right down the pipe, down the middle of the plate.
And V, let me know if I'm wrong, but I feel like he took a huge swing on 3-2. I was shocked. I was thinking he's probably going to shorten up. He's a very smart player, very, aware player. Seemed like he was swinging from his heels like he's trying to hit a grand slam there. And maybe he was, maybe that's what he was trying to do. He was just sitting sinker and missed it. And, you got to give credit to Clay Holmes, who looked outstanding. And he looks like he's back the last couple of outings. And I've given Clay Holmes a little bit of shit. But, it didn't seem like he was trying to shorten up at all.
No, listen, especially, I remember Marte striked out. Holmes was throwing perfect pitches. Yeah. Like, even the strikeout pitch was 2 inches off the plate. But the first pitch slider he gave him was on the corner. Like that, he outpitched Marte, but he gave Lindor a pitch to hit, and Lindor just didn't hit it.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because you'd love to see Lindor on a sinker hitting down the middle. Just go oppo. Go up the middle. Get it but you're right, Jack. It was a hard swing. And so I didn't get a chance to watch the second game, but apparently he did change his stance a little bit from what I heard. He, I think, closed off a little bit or something along that lines. I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah, Lindor and Marte striking out. After that happened, the game was done. No matter what happened, the Yankees could have put a runner on third and no outs in the ninth. They weren't going to score. There was no chance. The Mets lost that game. It's a shame. They scored 6 runs, and they allowed 7, and they lost. And the Yankees take game 1 as Jack dropped something over there. And I'll let you start game 2.
Wait.
Before we get into that,
I was going to stop before moving to game 2 too. I want to talk about sticky fingers real quick.
I want to get to sticky fingers as well, Dave. That's a great point.
What were you going to say, Jack?
V, what happened? I was just going to say, man, for the fan base that seems to complain the most about Garrett Cole and the sticky substances that he was known to use for a while, they lead the league in sticky substance injections. What's going on, V?
Listen, I think I don't know, man. It's a bunch of bullshit, in my opinion. Dude, apparently, I don't know if you guys saw the interview with Drew Smith after the game. He asked the MLB official in the clubhouse to feel his hands, and the official, quote-unquote, just laughed.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't.
believe that.
He made
I
everyone
hate to
feel his
tell you.
hands. By that time, there was going to be nothing on his hands anyway. So, no.
I mean, listen,
But
I'll tell you this. All I'm wondering is they've allowed pitchers to wash off the sticky substance and go back out. Why not let him have that opportunity? That's my problem. Okay, fuck it. His hands are sticky. Okay, that's not allowed. Fine. Rosin and sweat, which is legal, quote unquote, but it's not because it's too much sweat or whatever. Whatever. I don't got a problem with that. I don't got a problem with the umpire saying, hey, it's too sticky. But how come they've let other pitchers wash it off with alcohol, proceed to pitch, but they'll just eject him? That's where I'm getting a little annoyed with it. MLB's got to fucking figure that shit out because if that's Jack, stop dropping stuff. If that stuff starts happening in September and October when the games are really matter more, there's gonna be a lot of shit going on. Whatever, it's a game in June, so maybe his hands were too sticky. That's fine, but I know there was a guy, I think on the Diamondbacks, said they were too sticky. They let him wash it off, and he proceeded to pitch. I think Domingo Herman, his second time after he got suspended, they let him wash it off.
Max Scherzer.
They let him wash it off, but somehow still too sticky. Whatever. But that's where I got very confused as why they didn't give him like that chance to come clean or whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
well, you know what? I was watching the Yankees broadcast, and Michael Kay kind of brought up this kind of solution, and then I don't think I don't think David Cohn really understood his question or his proposed solution. But Michael Kay was like, if you're a pitcher coming in from the bullpen or from the dugout, why don't and you're only using rosin, right? You're truly only using sweat and rosin. Why don't you wash your hands before going onto the field, and then you can use the rosin bag after being checked? It's like because yeah, he was probably just using rosin while in the bullpen, to truly get a feel for the ball. But if he was using too much, why didn't he just like reset his hands before even entering the game? But I agree. I mean, that's a solution, but ultimately everything you said is right, V. It's so wishy-washy. It's like everything in MLB. We don't know when to care and when not to care. And
Why not have a MLB official in the dugout and in the bullpen to watch the pitchers put on whatever the fuck they want to put on?
maybe they'll just laugh at Drew Smith and say there's nothing on there.
I don't know. It's ridiculous.
One more thing before we go to game two, I did want to bring this up, guys. So I don't know if you guys heard it. It was reported after game one. Everyone saw Anthony Volpe seemed to have a more closed-off batting stance. He had a great game. So it was reported that Anthony Volpe ended up changing his stance after meeting up with Austin Wells, Yankee prospect catcher. Some other guys he played with last year on the off day. They were reminiscing and watching some old at-bats and eating chicken parm at Anthony Volpe's house in New Jersey. So I thought at first there's no way this is a real tweet. This has to be fake. Absolutely real. And what bothers me the most is that there's no coach. We have like the biggest analytical staff in baseball besides the Dodgers. There's no coach. There's no baseball nerd that can figure out that maybe we should look at when Volpe was doing well back in the minors and see if that's different from how he is now. Like, no one thought of this. We need our prospect catcher that's in Double A to tell him, maybe change your stance. Like, this is what we're doing right now. It's ridiculous.
All it sounds to me is he just needed to chicken parm.
Yeah, I can do wonders off chicken parm as well. And there's actually reports Lindor did the same thing after game one, and that's why he closed his stance up a little bit too. He had some chicken parm.
He also cut his hair.
Maybe that's why. But let's get into game two, fellas. Jack, that's an excellent point. But game two didn't go our way as a Yankee fan, so let's get into it.
Went my way.
Well, that's why I clarified.
V, take it. Go ahead. Have your moment. Have your moment of bragging.
All right. If you insist.
Why'd you do this, Jack?
Everybody. All right. We'll save that for the playoffs if we make it. Anyway, so game two, Verlander versus Garrett Cole. Great pitching matchup, and honestly, kind of lived up to it. Maybe he wasn't 8 innings on each end, dominance, but Both threw 6 innings. Both allowed 1 run. Both pitched very, very good. And that was fun to see. And Yankees were able to get the early lead. Mets were able to tie it early with Tommy Pham, big time Tommy. This guy's batting like 345 over his last 12 games with like 6 doubles, 4 home runs. Tommy Pham, low key, might have been a very good signing at this point in the year because I don't know what else to say. Like, even on a good team, he's probably starting. Like, he's actually performed very, very well.
V, I remember a time when you said the one player on the Mets that you would look to be out of here by the trade deadline would be Tommy Pham.
And I will eat my words happily. I said I hope I'm wrong.
Of course,
I said it. I said I hope he becomes an all-star. That's getting ahead of myself. But if he keeps it up for the next month, he might snag on a team. But he's actually playing very, very well, and you can't get him out of the starting lineup because he's hitting, and not a lot of people are. So that's good to see. Yankees were able to, how do I say this, run around the bases and take a lead here. IKF, if you guys don't follow us on the socials, I put a little clip of him stealing home. He was able to steal second, get to third on a throwing error, and then ended up stealing home, which was only the third ever time a stolen base happened during a Subway Series game. First ever Yankee to do it, according to my resources. So that's pretty cool. And, Marte. Well, Nimmo ended up getting hit by a pitch to make it within 1 run. And then Marte was able to tie it. And then on that same play, they don't send Vientos, which I was shocked they didn't. Nimmo thought they were. And then Nimmo got backpicked. Very, very close play a second, but that's impossible to overturn, in my opinion. I think it was as tie as a tie can get. So whatever the call on the field was going to be, that's what it was going to be. But 10th inning, this is where I got a big question for you, Jack, here. 10th inning, the Yankees, why aren't they playing with 1 run here? With Volpe leading off and you got a runner at second, how do you not have him bunt? How do you not have him bunt?
Yeah, I don't know.
And he looked foolish off Dominic Leone. And
Leone's tough. He's tough.
He's actually having a very, very good underrated year for the Mets. And the Mets kind of picked him up mid-season. Kind of nobody wanted him, and I've always kind of liked his arm. I always had him in MLB The Show, and I always kind of liked pitching with him. So when the Mets got him, I was kind of happy. And he pitched great. But I don't understand how the Yankees don't have Volpe bunt, because even if he bunts, he has a chance to beat it out. Like, there's
right, and he's good at bunting. He's done it a few times.
It's not like the guy's batting 300. I don't care that he just had a good game and maybe he's figuring it out. That's not a time to figure it out. That's a time to be a team player. It's time to do a team move. Anyways,
he struck it on 3 pitches.
Like I think they were all swinging. He swung and missed on every single pitch. So it's tough to see. And then Mets had the bottom of the 10th. Vientos leading off, struck out. Looked really bad. But thankfully, Nimmo ends the Subway Series as the way with a walk-off. It ended up being a walk-off RBI triple in the books.
V, can you let me know what the hell Eduardo Escobar was doing?
One
of the worst displays of base running I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was maybe he thought Bowers had a shot, but in my opinion, he was playing way too into.
It doesn't. Well, that too, but you got to get halfway on that dude. I mean, like, that's baseball 101. You got to get halfway. What do you tag it like?
That extra 90 feet with 2 outs, you're going to be running on a base hit anyway.
You're scoring on a single either way.
So.
Like, I don't understand why the Yankees are that shallow, first of all, but at the same time, like, you got to get halfway there. I don't know what the hell Eduardo Escobar was doing, and then it seemed like Bowers kind of gave up on the ball because he's like, oh, this game's over. When Eduardo Escobar, by the time Bowers gives up on it, he's still standing on second base.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, thankfully he scored, and that's why I'm not going to really want to get too much into it. But it wasn't the greatest base running I've ever seen, and because it was a close play at the plate. But, it's whatever. Nimmo came in clutch there, which was big. Don't know why Boone took out Albert Abreu, right? That's his name?
Yeah, he was
He
dealing.
faced
And
four
I
batters, struck out all four. He gets the loss because of the ghost runner, which is a horrible
right,
rule. Horrible
terrible.
rule.
But see, this is where I don't understand the analytics because I guess Nimmo, like at least I know that Nimmo is decent or like definitely above average for a left-handed hitter against left-handed pitching.
Nimmo has a
No,
higher average against lefties. His average is at 340.
this is what I'm saying.
340
So
against lefties.
this is where I don't understand some of the analytics. It's like I don't know, and maybe that's a Boone call, but Ramirez is not someone that ever pitches in high leverage situations ever. He's like a mop up guy. He's like an early reliever. He has decent stuff, but he's not overpowering at all. Nimmo hit like a 90-mile-an-hour sinker.
Yeah.
I knew as soon as he was coming in that the game was over, and I know Abreu usually doesn't go more than an inning. His pitch cap's probably around like 30, high 20s. So I guess I can understand that. And they did use a lot of relievers in game one. So I can see wanting to rest, but you're going to an off day, right? So it's very frustrating.
Yeah, I also don't get pitching to Nimmo in that spot. Like, Nimmo was swinging the bat well.
Very
and
true.
You have McNeil, who his only hit was really like a little bleeder the other way. And I know McNeil's a very contact-oriented guy, but I feel like he's also a guy that'll put the ball on the ground and that you can double him up. I mean, the way Nimmo's been hitting all year, and McNeil hasn't been McNeil. I would have attacked McNeil over Nimmo. I'm glad the Yankees didn't, but
yeah. See, I can understand the lefty-lefty move if you're bringing in like a Wandy Peralta, right? A guy that throws hard, a guy that's going to jam you. I can understand that. But to bring in Nick Ramirez lefty-lefty, I think you get the same sort of effect if you just keep in Albert
and Abreu
Abreu.
was dealing. He was dealing.
Yeah, he looked great.
Good. I mean, I'm so glad they took him out, but it blew my mind that he took him out.
One thing I want to bring up before we move off this series, guys. So, obviously, although they did win 7-6, game one, scored 7 runs, end up scoring 3 runs in game 2, the Yankees' offense without Aaron Judge, as we've outlined, has been horrible. So, I have some more stats for you guys. Yankees without Aaron Judge, just in the last 9 games. Batting average, 196. That's good for 30th in that span. On-base percentage, 258. That's good for 30th in that span. Slugging percentage, 355. That's good for 28th in that span. OPS, 612. That's good for 30th. 31 runs scored, 28th in baseball. 28 RBIs, that's 28th in baseball. 10 home runs, which is 19th in baseball. A 67 WRC plus, 29th in baseball. And a negative 0.2 FWAR, 28th in baseball. This offense without Aaron Judge is anemic. It's anemic. It's just the reality of the situation. I almost wish that, last year it was this way. It seemed, especially when, the end of the year came and it seemed like Aaron Judge was the only staple in our lineup. And it's kind of just carried right into the season. And, with no Stanton right now, he's not really 100% back, I would say, acclimated to the lineup. And no Donaldson, he's not really coming back. DJ's been hit or miss. Claver's been down. It's tough. It's going to be tough. And I'm really hoping, we get some reinforcements with Bader in center, maybe. That could do something for us. But I don't know. It's been tough.
It's been tough indeed, Jack. Hopefully we get reinforcements soon. I'm with you, but it was a fun Subway Series nonetheless. I think baseball, especially after seeing it all go down, MLB really ripped us off with a 2-game series during the week. But with that being said, let's stop living in the past. Let's move forward to the future. It is time for Big D's Big Odds. I do have a special game that we will get into, but first we are going to get into 5 over-under lines for you. Real quick, are the Mets playing in St. Louis?
No, home.
And Jack, are the Yankees are playing in Fenway, right? All right.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get into the lines here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with the first line of today. V, you kind of mentioned this player earlier, but Tommy Pham is having a great month of June. He's actually batting 303. He's got 6 home runs and 9 RBIs. So I'm going to do a simple over-under on hits for Tommy Pham in this upcoming series home against the Cardinals. It's a 3-game series, Jack. The line is going to be set at 1.5.
I'm taking the over, V, and Dave. The Cardinals, man, they've been super disappointing this year. Their pitching has kind of let them down. Thinking Tommy Pham, he sneaks his way into a couple lineups and does what Tommy Pham does, gets a few hits. Taking the over.
I'll tell you this right now. Big time Tommy, former Cardinal, he's going to want to crush him. He's going to get the over. And you get the over. He's staying hot, baby. He's staying hot.
There we go. Now, Jack, I do not have any advanced statistics on this, but just a observation while watching the Yankees recently. It almost feels like a lot of times they get more production out of the bottom of the order as opposed to their main guys.
That would be
So
true.
I'm gonna,
Could be backed up with the
yeah,
elements.
I just didn't feel like doing it. So I'm gonna set an over/under line. They got a 3-game series coming up in Fenway against the Red Sox. I'm gonna set an over/under line on hits from the 7, 8, and 9 hitters at 5.5 for the series. V,
It's mine, right?
Yes, go for it.
Red Sox pitching really isn't great. 5.5 hits. That's 2 hits from 3 players per game you would need. Yeah, I'll take the over here. I feel like it's a numbers game here, and I'll take the over.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over too, Dave. Thinking Volpe maybe turned a corner. IKF has been looking all right. And, maybe we get Higashioka, Trevi, a couple hits here and there. Take the over.
Very good, very good. Next couple lines are pretty simple, fellas. I'm going to set an over/under line on Mets. The Mets wins against the Cardinals at 1.5.
Mets.
Mets.
Mets wins at 1. I think the Mets are finally going to win a series here. Mets and the Cardinals are struggling. I think the Mets are just due for a series win. They got McGill, Senga, Carrasco. I don't know if it's that order. Senga's been doing good. I think he keeps pitching well. And I think the Mets take one of the other 2 games. So I'm going to go the over here.
V, I hate to agree with you on all 3 so far, but I'm going to take the over as well. I think maybe that walk-off gives a little bit of momentum for the Mets going forward. And the Cardinals, man, they just look like a dead baseball team. I was watching the game against the Giants, I think yesterday. They were up to 2 strikes, 2 outs in the 9th inning, give up a home run to Yastrzemski to tie the game, and then in extras, they just fell apart. They're a dead baseball team. Taking the Mets.
Very good, very good. So I, of course, need to ask it the other way around. I'm going to go Yankees wins against the Sox at 1.5. They did lose the series this last weekend against them, but V, go ahead. What do you think?
Only because I need to try to get an edge on Jack here, and he's going to take the over. I'm going to take the under, and maybe the Red Sox will have the Yankees number this year. I don't know.
Yeah, we're rolling with the over, Dave. You're ready now.
Very good, and I'm also going to try to create some diversity here by asking you guys on my 5th line, who will score more runs in their upcoming series, the Mets or the Yankees? Although, I don't know, Jack doesn't have a lot of faith in this Yankees lineup.
Lord. Man, we need Aaron Judge back so bad. The Red Sox pitching is atrocious. We do need God. I'm going to just take the Yankees. I'm just going to take them. Maybe going to Boston will give them something. They get a little pissed off.
All right, I'm going to take the Mets. I'm going to take the Mets. So that's what I'm going to say here.
Very good. All right, that wraps up Big D's Big Odds, the 5 over/under lines for this. We got a special edition, of course. It is Thursday. It seems like we typically play game shows on Thursdays to air on our Friday episodes. But I have exciting news. You guys already know this, but to our fans who maybe don't follow us on social media for whatever reason, we have an exciting partnership to announce. We are partnered with Shay Hello Media. And let me tell you, these guys are awesome. They focus strictly on our Mets content, which is great because I don't follow too much Mets stuff. But we got a lot going, a lot of exciting things planned in the future with these guys, and the guys have been great. So give them a follow, and of course, give us a follow too, because you would have heard that announcement if you followed us on social media. So thank you, Shay Hello Media. I'm very excited going forward. But we're going to go ahead and jump into our game show. Now, I strategically named this game show higher or lower instead of over or under. All right, so keep it straight, and be especially you. I know you struggle with the semantics here. So how it's going to work, how it's going to work, we're going to do a statistical category, and I'm going to name two players. Well, you're going to start with the base player, and then I'm going to name another player, and you have to pick whether they have a higher total or a lower total. If the player has a higher total, he becomes the new base player. All right.
Wow.
All right.
I
So
like
how
this
it's
game.
going to work is there's 10 total players for each statistical category. There's just two stats for each. We're going to start with Mets, and then we'll go do a Yankees one.
Now, Dave, is this career or is this current
career.
players?
So it's all old people.
Okay.
All old folks.
Career, is this career with the Mets or career? Okay.
All right. So how we're going to do it? There's 10 lines. The opposing guy is going to go first, so it's going to be Jack for the Mets, and then V, you'll do the Yankees. Now, Jack, you get a point for each one that you successfully get. Now, you can lock in your points at any time. So if you're on the fourth one and you don't know the answer, you can come away with 4 points. However, if V can go on to name the next 3, he gets to steal 2 points and you get 0. Now, if V can finish the whole list and get all 10 correct, he gets 5 points. The other stipulation for points that I will throw in there is once you get to 5 as the opposing guy, you can go higher than 5. So you can back out at 7, but you'll always get 5 points. All right, so you lock in at 5.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to start all Mets. We have 2 stat categories for the Mets, and then we will go into the Yankees. So, Jack, we are going to do Mets hits. So we are talking hits here.
Mets hits.
Your first player, and I'm not going to tell you any numbers or anything. All right? We are going to start with your first base player of Carlos Beltran. The player we are going to compare, so you will tell me higher or lower, is Ray Ordonez.
I'm going to say lower, Dave.
Jack, you would be correct. We are moving on to number 2. That's 1 point as of right now. But if you get one wrong,
here we go.
You lose all your points. And then V, if V names the next 3, he can get 2. All right.
Right.
Carlos Beltran or Daniel Murphy.
Ugh, damn, this is
real tough. It gets harder as the game goes on, too.
Carlos Beltran, Daniel Murphy. Now, Beltran was on the Mets for a good amount of time. Murphy, he put up a lot of years on the Mets, though. I'm going to go Daniel Murphy higher.
You, sir, would be correct. So you got 2 points, and your new base player is Daniel Murphy. All right.
Okay.
Higher or lower hits, Daniel Murphy or Lee Mazzilli.
Lee Mazzilli, wow. I'm going to go Daniel Murphy.
You, sir, would be correct. So we are now on number 4. Daniel Murphy or Keith Hernandez.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It is. They're very close.
Lee Mazzilli or Keith Hernandez, wow. I'm going to go with Keith Hernandez.
You, sir, are incorrect.
Damn.
All right, so you missed out on points in that round, but V, if you can name the next, or if you can get the next 3 correct, you get 2 points. All right.
Okay. Yep.
And if you get All 10 will keep going. You get 5.
Great.
All right. So Daniel Murphy was higher than Keith Hernandez. So we're going to stick with Daniel Murphy.
Okay.
Daniel Murphy or Darryl Strawberry?
Give me the straw.
You, sir, would be correct.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Moving along. Darryl Strawberry or Howard Johnson?
Darryl Strawberry.
You, sir, are correct. One more to lock in 2 points, V. Darryl Strawberry or Mike Piazza?
Oh, jeez. Darryl Strawberry.
You, sir, are incorrect. So no points awarded here. Mike Piazza has 3 more career hits on the Mets than Darryl Strawberry.
Oh my god.
Come on, V. I know that.
How was I gonna guess 3 more hits? That's good. That was. Oh shoot.
Come on.
Shoot.
All right, so Jack,
Okay.
we're sticking with you, but we're going to go to Mets strikeouts. Okay, as a pitcher.
Okay.
All right, our first base
All right.
player is going to be Matt Harvey
Okay.
or Johan Santana.
I'm going to go with Matt
You,
Harvey.
sir, are correct, and it's not by much. Very good.
Woo.
All right, next one, we are going to go Matt Harvey or Zach Wheeler.
Matt Harvey or Zach Wheeler? I'm going to go Zach Wheeler.
You, sir, are correct. So we're on to our third one here. We are going to go Zach Wheeler or Noah Syndergaard.
Wow.
And remember, you can
Super
lock
tough.
in. You would walk away with 2 points, and V does not have a chance to steal. Actually, yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Okay. I've never been one to play it safe.
That is
Dave.
true.
I'm going to go with Zach Wheeler here.
You should have played it safe, Jack, because you are incorrect. Noah Syndergaard finished with more strikeouts than Zach Wheeler. So, V, you have an opportunity to steal here. You got to get at least 3 in a row. Higher or lower strikeouts, Noah Syndergaard or Ron Darling?
We are gonna go with Mr. Ron Darling.
That is correct. Ron Darling or John Matlock?
Give me John Matlock.
You, sir, are incorrect.
Damn it!
Still
0-0.
0-0. You know what, Jack? Let's keep going because I got 5 more prepared. Let's not put them to waste, huh? If you stop and V gets the next one, he'll steal for 2 points. But this is going to be 1 to 5 points, not 6 through 10. All right, Jack. Ron Darling or Al Leiter?
I'm going to go Ron
You,
Darling.
sir, got 1 point. Ron Darling or David Cohn?
David Cohn, 2 stints with the Mets. Oof, that's tough. I'm going to go David Cohn.
You got it.
Let's go.
All right. David Cohn or Jerry Koosman?
The Coos.
Could walk away with 2 points here, Jack.
I mean, it's got to... He pitched so long on the Mets, I know. But I know he wasn't the best. I'm just going to save my 2, Dave. I would have said the Coos, but I'm going to walk away with my 2.
All right, well,
So it comes to me now.
it comes to you.
And Jack, you should have so said the Coos, because that is 100% correct.
It's Jerry Coos. V, for consolation, let's see if you can name the other three. So V
Let's
V gets 2 points there, I guess.
So we tied it up.
No, no. Yeah, it's a tie game. It's a tie game. All right.
But yeah, give me the consolation.
Jerry Koosman or Jake DeGrom?
I think Kuz still has it on him.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
All right. Jerry Koosman or Sid Fernandez?
The Kuz.
You are right. You finished this off strong. Very well done. I believe Jerry Koosman's third all time behind Seaver
I
and
think he is.
Gooden. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I thought. I'm like, I don't. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Very good. So you each got 2 points. Congrats.
Let's go.
All right. We are now going to.
That ends the Mets.
That ends the Mets. A tie game.
Ooh.
So our over-under lines might matter quite a bit, but
Good game, Jack.
well done. Well done.
Yeah.
All right. We are now going to go to the Yankees again, V. We are going to start with you.
Ooh, I'm scared.
You can lock in your points at any time, but if Jack answers the next three, he gets to steal them for 2 points. All right? If he can finish out the entire list, he gets awarded 5 points.
Okay.
All right. We are going to do home runs for the Yankees. And we are going to start with your base player of Mark Teixeira. Higher or lower home runs on the Yankees, Mark Teixeira or Tino Martinez?
It's a Shara. Let's start off with the Shara here.
You, sir, would be correct.
There we go.
All right. Higher or lower, Mark Teixeira or Roger Maris?
Roger Maris.
You, sir, would be incorrect.
What?
You would be incorrect.
Oh my.
All right. Told you that. I had a feeling this was going to be a hard game. I think I made it too hard because they were off by 3. So
You could have done that towards the end a little bit.
Okay. I did.
Okay.
I did. Believe me.
Oh, I know you did. I know. I believe you.
It's a lot of great
great ones.
Yankees.
All right, Jack. If you can get the next 3, you at least get 2, but you could go for 5.
All right, let's go for 5.
All right. Higher or lower home runs, Mark Teixeira or Derek Jeter?
Derek Jeter.
Higher or lower home runs, Derek Jeter or Aaron Judge?
I know it's really close.
It is.
I know Jeter was around like 260, 280. Didn't get to 300, I don't think. Judge is like right there. It's 60 and 50. I'm going to go Derek Jeter.
Good choice, Jack. I'm not going to tell you. Never mind. But he did have more than Aaron Judge. He did have more than Aaron Judge. All right, next line for at least 2 points here, Jack. Derek Jeter or Don Mattingly?
I think this is another close one,
Yes,
Dave.
it is.
I'm going to go Donnie Baseball.
Jack, you just missed out on 2 points. Derek Jeter had more than Don Mattingly. All right, you know what? We're going to do the same thing we did to the Mets pitchers. I have another 5 that I don't want to let go to waste. So, V, you can see how far you go. And then, Jack, you can also steal for 2 points.
Fantastic. Let's guess.
All right. V, higher or lower, Derek Jeter, home runs. Derek Jeter or Jorge Posada?
I think Posada's got it.
You are correct. All right. Jorge Posada or Yogi Berra?
It's close. Yogi.
You would be correct, Yogi Berra.
Yeah.
All right. Higher or lower, Higher or lower? I cannot speak today. Yogi Berra or Bernie Williams?
Yogi.
You would be correct.
Oh, that's 2 points, right?
You're at least 3.
Ooh.
All right. Yogi Berra or Alex Rodriguez? This one is close.
And I'm going to gladly take my 3 points and stop playing here.
All right. Jack, do you want to go for consolation?
I think it's A-Rod.
It is not. It's Yogi Berra.
Oh, I was going to say A-Rod too.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. He has 358. A-Rod had 351. All right, so V walks away with 3. And we are now going to go to Yankees strikeouts again. All right, V, you're up.
Let's go.
Higher or lower, your first baseline player is going to be Severino. Higher or lower than Orlando Hernandez?
Go with Hernandez.
You should not have gone with Hernandez.
Nice.
All right, Jack, you only need 3 here to steal some points from V. Although,
right,
unless you get all 5, or I'm sorry, all 5 points by getting the rest of the list, you're only going to come away with 2, and that's not enough to beat V in the Yankees list. So let's do this. All right, Severino or Masahiro Tanaka?
Tanaka.
All right, Tanaka or Mariano Rivera?
Ooh.
It's got to be
It is Mo, but not by a lot. All right, to get at least 2 points, Mariano Rivera or Roger Clemens?
I'm going to go with Roger.
It is not Roger Clemens. It is Mariano Rivera. So Jack gets no points. But what we can do, I got 6 more. We can do 6 more. RV, do you want to stop
I'm in.
playing? You're okay. He's in.
I'm in.
He's in.
I'm in.
All right.
He's in when he's winning the game.
Listen, Dave went through all this effort to put the game together. I'm
did.
gonna go. I'm gonna play.
So what we'll do is there's 6
Respect
lines. V, you can come away with however many points you want, but I think if Jack can successfully finish the list, he gets how many do you want to give him? We'll give him 5 with only 6 left. Okay. All right. That's a deal. Jack, do you agree to those terms? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, V. Mariano Rivera. Higher or lower strikeouts than David Cohn on the Yankees?
Mariano Rivera.
It's a good choice because you are correct. Mariano Rivera or Mike Mussina?
Give me the Moose.
You are correct. You're up to 4 points if you walk away from it. Mike Mussina or CC Sabathia?
Moose.
You are not correct.
I should have stopped.
And it's not really even close. Well, it's kind of close, but... All right, Jack, so there's 3 left. I guess if you get all 3, you win the game. I don't either, but he's ambitious and I respect it. So, Jack, CC Sabathia or Lefty Gomez?
See, Dave, I remember from our last game that Lefty Gomez, he's up there. He played a lot of years on the Yanks.
He did.
But I'm still going to go with CC.
That was a great choice because CC did have more strikeouts than Lefty Gomez. All right.
Come on.
CC
Come on.
Sabathia or Ron Guidry?
This is tough. I'm gonna roll with CC, Dave.
You would be incorrect. Ron Guidry had 78 more strikeouts, so Jack doesn't get any points. V wins the Yankees edition by what? 2 points?
Wow.
3 points. 3 points. Very sorry.
Yep.
He wins by 3 points.
Good game.
All right, so that wraps it up. Sorry if that was challenging, fellas, but you honestly did great. It's hard to know who had more strikeouts when we're talking minimal margins here. But real quick, we got upcoming series coming up in a minute or two each. Let's recap, or let's break them down. Jack, Yankees, Sox. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it short and simple, guys. The Yankees, they got to score some runs, and I said that last time, and I'll say it again, but, we've pitched pretty well. Relatively speaking, the bullpen's been amazing. We just got to score. And we got to get somebody going besides, Judge when he was healthy, but I'm looking at Stanton. I'm looking at Volpe to get right. Donaldson, we've seen nothing from him besides the couple home runs he had against the Dodgers. We need something, guys. Maybe Glaber. He's looked pretty atrocious. Hoping that they get Bader back. Maybe by the next series. He's rehabbing right now. But it seems like the Yankees are going to need an offseason move, Dave, because, man, they're struggling right now at the plate.
All right, real quick, V, we got Mets cards. What do you got for us? What are you looking for?
Listen, Cardinals have the third worst record in baseball, worst record in the National League. Mets need to win 2 out of 3 at minimum. I would love to see a sweep. The Mets need to beat them. They're facing a couple, Wainwright's well past his prime, Miles Michaelis, and Adam Liebertor. These are guys they got to hit against. I know Alonso's not in this lineup, and that stinks because I feel like Alonso would be beefing up his stats during the series. But nonetheless, you got McGill, Senga, and Carrasco. You got to win this series, and if they don't, if that panic button that you guys have always been asking me start pressing, I may get ready to press it soon if they don't start winning real quick. That's all I got.
Very good. Very good. Well, I'm excited for a weekend filled with baseball. As always, great episode, fellas. Hey, V, they can find us on Instagram, can they not?
They certainly can on Instagram at BQB Podcast. I'm making reels, comment, DM, I'll answer to the best of my abilities.
Please slide in this man's DMs. Jack, we are on TikTok, are we not?
We are on the TikTok at BQB Podcast on the talk. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys, on the YouTube. Leave us a comment. Tell us how you thought this episode went. Give us some hot takes. Give us some jack-offs. We want to hear from you.
That's right. You can also let us know what you think on Twitter at BQB Podcast. You can participate in some polls, and you can stay up to date with Mets and Yankees because that's what we do here. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, iHeartRadio, Amazon, YouTube. We're everywhere, so don't be shy. If you like us, say hello to someone. Anyone, just say hello, and they will like us too. As always, great episode. We'll catch you guys next time.